One.
Hello, hello, hello. And good morning and welcome to episode 18 of the Unspoken Rules podcast. I am your host, Sebastian, aka Rabbit. And of course, I'm here with my sidekick, my best friend, Mr. Montana, aka Wildcard. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. Glad to be back on the show to talk some NBA basketball.
Yes, sir. First of all, we do not have Blake. He is at work, so unfortunately, we will not have his presence today. But he is lucky because we'll get into it and I'll explain why. We have some exciting games from yesterday to talk about. First game of the Western Conference Finals took place, which we'll get into, as well as obviously a crazy Game 7 of that semifinals between the Hawks and the Sixers, which we'll also break down. Montana, take it away.
Alrighty, so we're going to talk about the first game, and that was game one in the Western Conference Finals. The Phoenix Suns, without Chris Paul, winning 120 to Los Angeles Clippers, who are playing without Kawhi Leonard, 114. Devin Booker was the story yesterday. He had 40 points, 11 assists, and 13 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton feasted on that interior Clippers defense, who did not have an answer to DeAndre Ayton yesterday. And in the game, but I believe that will change as the series goes on, had 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. And then we had Cameron Payne filling in for Chris Paul. He made timely shots yesterday. 11 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds. And Mikal Bridges, who I believe, I don't know who it was. I think it was Jeff Van Gundy on the broadcast yesterday, said he's the best cutter in the NBA.
Yeah.
Had 14 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. As far as the Clippers go, we had Reggie Jackson, who had 24 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. Paul George, 34 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Besides that, the only other double-digit scorer was DeMarcus Cousins, who had 11 points and 4 rebounds in 13 minutes. So, Sebastian, me and you went on Twitter yesterday, had a little bit of a battle. You saying that Devin Booker was like Kobe yesterday. The Suns are up 1-0 now. How many games do you think it's going to take the Suns to beat the Clippers?
All right. So I'll answer that question first. I think this series goes to 6. I think the Suns win this series in 6. I know you said the Clippers in 6, and then I think the Suns win the NBA Finals in 6, regardless of who they play. Now, to get into my breakdown, first of all, I want to congratulate the GOAT, Mr. King James, Mr. James Jones, for his Executive of the Year award. Well deserved. You know what I'm saying? What a squad he has assembled and provided, Devin Booker with all of these pieces to be successful. That's number one. Just wanted to get that out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Now moving on. Let's get into this game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start with the Clippers. And listen, first of all, did I not call that the Clippers, if you come out with that small ball, is going to get exposed? We're not the, you know what I'm saying? Let me not say we, because whatever. The Phoenix Suns are not the damn Utah Jazz. Rudy Gobert is not the same as DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton is a way better defender in the sense of playing on the perimeter. Unlike Rudy, that's very suspect. But now, everyone struggled other than, PG and Reggie Jackson, which we'll get into. But everyone else struggled in the sense of providing production for this squad. And I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you come out, you're probably very tired from that game 6 or whatever the case may be. And fine, I'll give you that excuse for game 1. I'm not giving Reggie Jackson his respect yet. You know what I'm saying? I'll tip my cap and I'll be like, all right, you're having a great postseason run right now. But at some point, he is going to go back to life and average that 10.8 points per game that he has been. Just a little quick note. In that fourth quarter, Mr. Reggie Jackson was 2 for 6 with 2 turnovers. That's just something I want to mention. So he had a great first 3 quarters, horrible fourth quarter. In that meaning, it freaking says he had a horrible game. Now, PG, Mr. Montana was talking about how he had a way better, at the time, he was having a way better game than Mr. Devin Booker. At that time, he had 33 points. 33 points. Montana makes a tweet saying PG 33, Devin Booker 29. And that was because PG had that run in that third quarter to, blow that team up and really get in his bag. But I'm giving PG the same treatment I gave Joel Embiid that game that Joel Embiid had 37 points per game. This was not, and I repeat, this was not a good performance from PG. at all. You can say whatever you want. You can look at the stats and you'll be like, damn, bro, but he had 34 points. No. He had 33 points in the first 3 quarters. Paul George not only did not start the fourth quarter, unlike Devin Booker, he sat for the first 3 minutes. And when he came in, at, I believe it was 6 minutes and 29 seconds, Cameron Payne got hit with a technical foul after, swiping at Batum's arm after Batum pushed him. PG hits that technical free throw, 1 point. After that, he proceeds to shoot 0 for 5 from the field, including a layup attempt that he decided to take with 12 seconds on the clock, being down 4. Being down 4 with 12 seconds left on the clock, he goes up for a layup, which then gets blocked by Mikal Bridges, a great defender. So, I don't know how you just – I guess people are going to look at this, right? People are going to look at this and be like, damn, bro, PG really needs some help. But clearly that means that they just didn't watch this game because they didn't see Mr. Pandemic P. And yes, I will say Pandemic P break down and fall apart in the fourth quarter. I tried telling you this. He's a superstar with how many playoff appearances, Montana? 10. 10 playoff appearances, and this is his, his season to make up, or a statement season, or whatever the case may be, because he was Pandemic P last year. This is supposed to be where he blows up. He said when Kawhi went down, I got that Indy mindset. That Indy mindset was not blowing up and falling apart in the fourth quarter. Is it fatigue? Was he gassed? I mean, shoot. He played what? 39 minutes? I don't know, bro. You just came off that game 6. What happened to that performance? What happened? Are you tired? Fine. I'll give him the excuse, the benefit of the doubt that game 1 he was just tired. But for him to say that statement and for him to play without Kawhi Leonard, he needs to show up and improve and be better before I take away that Pandemic P. I was getting ready to do it. I had already said that Pandemic P is gone. He proved to me in the Utah series. But then he comes out, plays 39 minutes, scores 33 points in the first 3 and 1 point in the fourth. You get Pandemic P back on your name, bro. Until you show up in the fourth quarter, I cannot take Pandemic P away from him at all. Now, moving on. The team of the hour. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting a completely different game. I was expecting the Suns to be tired. I was expecting the Suns to be very inconsistent. I was expecting the Clippers to spaz out with that momentum from that game 6 of the last series. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting a Clippers win tonight. Obviously, I wanted the Suns to win. I got the Suns colors, but I didn't think that the Suns would come out as on fire as they did. Now, the Phoenix Suns, I mentioned time and time again how they feed the hot hand until it gets cold. Devin Booker was playing that point guard position and delivering the ball at ease to his teammates, finding matchups to attack that were open, and you know what I'm saying? He did his role as a point guard. And I got to credit that man, Devin Booker. But that third quarter, and I know you don't want to admit it, that third quarter with that 16-point tear to close out that quarter, the man was on a mission. The man was on a mission to secure the game. The man was on a mission to prove to the world who he is and what he's about. You know what I'm saying? Him getting snubbed, I called it once he got snubbed. I said he's going to come out and he's going to be like Bam Adebayo. The Phoenix Suns are going to be like the damn Miami Heat. And he's going to prove to the world why the hell he should not have gotten snubbed. The fact that he's not even on a team and he played like that yesterday just proves that I don't know what's going on. All these people need to get fired. Whoever the hell are making these votes is absolutely ridiculous. That's number 1. Number 2, in that same third quarter, the fact that you do not see still, we could pull up clips and watch this. The fact that you still don't see the man that he idolized his entire life, the man who literally told him before he passed, be legendary. The man who he ended up getting that tattooed, I don't know where exactly, but he got tattooed be legendary on his body because Kobe Bean Bryant told him, who was his idol, if you're going to show up in big games, you be legendary. And what happens? In the biggest game that he needed with CP3 out, he's legendary. You see Kobe Bryant in Devin Booker with the Mamba mentality. You see it with the mid-range going crazy, the little mid-range fader. That literally looks like Kobe Bean. If you don't see it, I don't know what else to tell you. The kid literally is an identical, is the second coming of Kobe Bean Bryant. I thought it was going to be Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum also has those moments. But Devin Booker this entire postseason has proven to me time and time again that he's got the Mamba mentality. His body's different. He is a GOAT, and he's a superstar in the making. Now, I think he goes with CP3 once he comes back to the finals. They win in 6, like I mentioned earlier. Now, credit to DeAndre. Actually, let me skip DeAndre. Credit to Cameron Payne and everybody else showing up and hitting most of the shots when they made the extra pass. To be honest with you, last night, or I guess in the afternoon, they really looked like that Spurs team. You know what I'm saying? They got the ball, dished it on the extra pass, and then they hit the shots. I was very surprised. I was very happy to watch that. Hopefully they continue this momentum. I mean, obviously they're, in my opinion, the most consistent team in the entire league. And, I think last night proved it. The fact that they had that break and they still come out and shoot hot. I mean, it wasn't the greatest shooting performances, but the fact that they still shot the way they did to win the ball game, absolutely amazing, absolutely astonishing, and I credit them. Question for you though, when you respond to this, are you still gonna give DeAndre Ayton some crap, or are we gonna finally give me and everybody else some credit for DeAndre Ayton's ability to be phenomenal? You know what I'm saying? Now let me finish really quick. This team is nasty. You know what I'm saying? To think that they did all of this with Cameron Payne at the starting spot and each one more off the bench. Imagine Cameron Payne on the bench, CP3 starting. Listen, I know you got Clippers in 6, but I'm trying to tell you that clearly after that game 1 performance, and you could say they can make adjustments and whatnot, but we're seeing the greatest team in the NBA play right now, especially with the Nets being eliminated. Suns in 6.
Greatest team in the NBA, huh?
Yep.
We're gonna have to slow your roll over there, sir. Okay, so as far as the Suns go, I will give Devin Booker the credit because he played really well. Especially, he was just making shot after shot after shot. The Clippers didn't have no answer to make him do anything else. So yeah, he played great, but he was not Kobe Bryant. Let's get that out of the way.
I don't know, man.
No one is Kobe Bryant.
All right.
Chris Paul, once he gets back, Devin Booker ain't gonna play like that because Devin Booker only has to play like that when he's by himself. And you said that DeAndre Ayton was a force. I remember him getting almost like a majority of his points from dunks yesterday.
Yes.
That's nothing. That takes no skill at all. So DeAndre Ayton was not special. He just got fed the rock by Devin Booker, and he took care of the Clippers like he was supposed to by putting up dunks in the paint. That's what his job was to do as a center. He can't. He's not that. That's not as special. That's not making him special. This makes him a player. What he's supposed to do. He played his role yesterday. He's playing more like a role player than an actual number 1 pick, which is kind of weird to me. If you're a we're gonna get to number 1 picks who are playing like role players later. But as far as the Clippers go, Paul George, who had 33 points, only scored 1 point only scored 1 point in the fourth quarter. I definitely expect more from him as the series goes on, and I bet you we will get that. There's no doubt in my mind that he will not score. He's not going to score 1 point in the fourth quarter again. That's just not going to happen. He's too good of a basketball player for that to happen. He played so well throughout the first 3 quarters. He was putting that Clippers team on his back when no one else seemed to want to score besides him and Reggie Jackson yesterday, which is another reason why. And they still scored 114 points, which is another reason why the Clippers, then game 2, as the series goes on, they're going to get those contributions from other players like Marcus Morris, who only had 8 points in yesterday's game, Terrence Mann, who had a phenomenal 39-point game 6 performance against the Jazz. Did not play very well yesterday, but he's going to improve. There's no doubt in my mind. Ty Lue is a fantastic coach, and he inserts players and he makes the adjustments throughout the game at the right moments in time. DeMarcus Cousins coming in and giving that spark for the Clippers off the bench in that early second quarter is exactly what they needed. I expect to see more timely moments from him throughout the games and the rest of the series to come as he potentially comes in the second half like we saw yesterday. Maybe 11 points in that second quarter was great. It was great to see, and he looked like the old DeMarcus Cousins. He really did. Like he was just banging low down with the players, with the Suns players in the paint. He was scoring 3-pointers. He was doing everything he needed to put the Clippers on his back. And if you can get that every game from him, even if it's for 15 minutes or less, I will take that any day of the week. This guy still can play basketball. Yes, he has not been consistently healthy throughout his career, especially the last couple years of his career that have gone horribly wrong for him for considering his Achilles tear, his ACL tear. He just hasn't been able to stay on that court. But this is his moment to shine now. This is where he shows NBA teams that he can still play, and he could definitely still play. The defense, he might be a liability on defense, but that's not an excuse for him to play for Ty Lue to sit him at least because those offensive numbers they need. I expect in game 2 that small ball lineup to change. I think Terrence Mann's going to go to the bench. I believe Zubac will start the game next. And this will start game 2 against the Suns to match up a little bit better with DeAndre Ayton to take away some of those easy paint points that the Suns had gotten in game 1. I expect Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris Sr., Paul George to all do their thing, score over 20 points each. I expect the Clippers bench to be a little bit better. Luke Kennard gave them timely 3-pointers where they needed it desperately. Besides that, I do think the Clippers are still going to win the series in 6 games just because they have that whole entire team experience-wise is more than what the Suns can say they have as the playoffs will go on. And yes, you can say that Chris Paul is going to come back. We don't know when he's coming back yet. It could be game 2. It could be game 3. We don't know how long the health and safety protocols are going to keep him off on the sidelines for. But I've seen the Clippers go down twice, 2-0, in both rounds, the first and second round, and it hasn't phased them one bit. They've gotten past it, and they've moved on to the next round. They've beaten the Dallas Mavericks, who you said would be in the Western Conference Finals. They've beaten the Utah Jazz, who are the number 1 seed in the NBA. They beat them in 6 games. Now they're going out to the Phoenix Suns. It's another challenge for them to take on, and I believe they're going to do that. As far as the Phoenix Suns go, Mikal Bridges played really well. Cameron Payne played really well where they needed him to play well. I don't know about the whole Mikal Bridges is one of the best defenders in the league. That makes no sense to me. Yeah, no. But besides that, yes, Phoenix, they won game 1. They almost blew it in the end. But besides that, there's nothing else for really me to say about this game, and I believe that the Clippers are going to win game 2 and send this back to LA 1-1 apiece.
So here's my thing, right? We at least know the time of which Chris Paul will come back, right? So the Clippers won that Mavericks series because of Kawhi Leonard. They won that Utah series because of Kawhi Leonard. Obviously, the last 2 games, PG and everybody else stepped up. But we don't know when Kawhi's coming back. We don't have a time. We don't know if it's in 3 weeks. We don't know if it's in the NBA Finals, if they make it that far. We have no idea what is up with that ACL injury from Kawhi Leonard and his people. Chris Paul, the latest he will show up is either game 2, and if not, then game 3. So we at least know, and the Suns can at least, scheme and game plan for having their playmaker, their facilitator, their leader, everything back by the latest game 3. So you take advantage of home court. You win at home in game 2. You get CP3 back potentially game 3. And then from there, I think from that point on, it could even be a potential sweep if CP3 comes back. He might be rusty that first game. So maybe the Clippers take advantage and get that first game at home. But I think with that leadership, like I've said time and time again, this is the most consistent team, whether you like it or not. I just don't know. I don't understand exactly where the whole, bro, I just don't get how you just don't see what the greatness and what the Suns are doing right now. Like, as a Heat fan, you know what I'm saying? I'm repping this Phoenix squad, and I said it yesterday. The reason being, 1, Jay Crowder, once a Heat player, always a Heat player, and 2, the King James Jones, again, once a Heat player, always a Heat player. So right now, as soon as the Heat got eliminated, I was a Suns fan. Obviously, I had the Suns going to the finals anyways, but I became a Suns fan. I was like, all right, let me rock one team. That's going to be the Phoenix Suns because you have those Heat players. Now moving on, I don't see them or the Clippers doing anything to win each and every game without Kawhi Leonard. Yes, I guess we saw it in Utah, but now we're about to compare the Utah Jazz to the Phoenix Suns. who I told you were a better team than the Utah Jazz. And
Utah
we're
had a
seeing
better record.
does it
And
by
they were number
one
one
by
seed.
one game.
And they still had
By
Donovan
one game.
Mitchell, Rudy
By
Gobert, and all those other players besides Mike Conley. So they're
okay.
still a good team. That makes no sense.
I'm not saying they're a bad team. I'm saying the Phoenix Suns are better than the Utah Jazz. They should have finished number one, which is why I think Monty should have won Coach of the Year, which is a whole different conversation. But the Phoenix Suns are clearly more like way better. They have no playoff experience. You're absolutely right. The only people that have that experience is Jay Crowder and CP3 when he comes back, and maybe Torrey Craig if you want to toss all that crap in. But leadership-wise, they need CP3 back, and once they do get this back, it might become an ugly series, and it could potentially be a 5-game series, a 4. It might be a sweep. I don't know what it's going to be when CP3 comes back, but I don't think the Clippers have enough what it takes, especially without Kawhi Leonard, to come and prove, to me at least, that they can win this series. Because sure, if you want to give Boogie minutes, you can, but I don't think Boogie drops 11. I don't think he drops double digits again in a game at all. The man had 12 points combined in 2 games in that Utah series. So I don't see Boogie coming out and dropping another 11-point game. Zubac should get the start because, like I said, that small ball lineup is getting exposed by easy buckets in the paint from DeAndre Ayton. So that means Terrence Mann's going to cut his minutes in half. So he's going to get 15 to 20, depending on how the game's going. So he's not going to provide you that 30-something point game that he did, or 40, whatever the hell it was. I think it was 39. He's not going to give you that. Reggie Jackson has to shoot the ball better, but we haven't seen him shoot the ball amazing. It's been decent, but it hasn't been great. Marcus Morris needs to shoot better.
24 points isn't great.
I'm saying shooting-wise.
Exactly where he needs to be.
I'm saying shooting-wise, shooting performances, not points. Shooting performances. He shot 4 for 12. 10 for 19 is not bad, but from 3, 4 for 12, if they want to win games, it needs to be better. It can't be 4 for 12.
He's not a 3-point shooter though.
So then why shoot 12 3?
Because that's how the NBA is going, Sebastian. That's how the NBA is.
I'm just letting you know. The shooting performance was bad. He had 24 points, credit to him, but his shooting performance was not the greatest. Neither was Marcus Morris, going 3 for 11, 0 for 5 from 3. Now here's my thing. I don't think we've seen Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson drop 20 points at the same time. Now, we might have seen it once or twice, but to your point, you said they need to do that consistently. I don't think we've seen that, and I don't think we're going to see that. I think Marcus Morris will either have the 20-point game or Reggie Jackson will have the 20-point game, and maybe we'll get the rare occasion of maybe game 3, they'll each have 20. But I just don't see this team competing for a champion or competing for this freaking win to go to the championship. I can't see it, especially when I got the Phoenix Suns playing at the caliber that they are playing. A 6-point game, you say they almost blew it. I mean, shoot. I don't know how they almost blew it when PG with, what was it, like 17, or I said 12 seconds left, took a layup down 4. I don't know how you almost blow that. They should have shot a 3 or something. It was at the end of the day, they won by 6. Clearly, I guess they didn't blow it. They won by 6, and at the end of the day, the Phoenix Suns have the team, have the composure, have the leadership, have everything they need, especially with the potential of getting CP3 back. With no timeable, go ahead.
I wouldn't say they have the composure. They almost blew that game at the end.
I don't think they almost blew that game.
The Clippers get back within a minute and make it a 2-point game. It took a blown defensive coverage by the Clippers for Devin Booker to score that easy layup to make it a 4-point game. So I don't think the Suns have that composure that you're talking about. I think they're showing they're a little bit of a young team that they haven't been there and done that yet. That is the part that scares me for the Suns.
Now I don't see how they almost blew that when it was still a 2-point game.
And when still 22 seconds.
What ended up happening? Oh yeah, okay. So it was 22 seconds, right? And what ends up happening? They're down 4 with 12 seconds left. PG takes a layup. I'm pretty sure they end up getting that rebound and miss a 3. So at that point, it's still a 2-point game. I mean, it's still a 4-point game, and then it becomes a 2-point game off of some, what was it, a layup or some crap? I don't even remember. But the fact of the matter is, they were not blowing that. The game was over. The game was already over before, you know what I'm saying? Like before the freaking buzzer rang. The game was over. All they needed to do was inbound the ball once, foul Devin Booker or foul somebody, because at the end of the day, everybody shoots free throws. You're right now, here's the thing, and this is what I was trying to tell you. The Clippers and the Phoenix Suns right now are the two best free throw percentage shooting teams, right? So regardless of if this game was almost blown, you would have to inbound the ball and it would become a free throw shooting game. You have two of the best free throw shooting teams, with the Clippers going 14-17, 82.4%, and the Phoenix Suns going 9 for 9, 100%. So regardless of the fact that it was a 2-point game with 10 seconds left, and regardless if Devin Booker doesn't get that layup opportunity, no, they're not going to miss free throws. This team, unlike a team we'll talk about in a second, make their free throws and understand the importance of making free throws. So I don't understand how they almost blew it, because, you know, they're both great free throw shooting teams. But we'll see the rest of the series. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I think we shall see who is the better team as the series goes on. The Clippers are gonna make them. They're gonna make the Suns work for it. Don't underestimate the Clippers and Ty Lue.
No, 100%.
So we're gonna move on from the Phoenix Suns winning and going up 1-0 over the Los Angeles Clippers, and move on to the last semifinal game in the Eastern Conference, the Game 7, where all the marbles are made for a team or break it for a team. The Atlanta Hawks ultimately win the series 4-3 with a 103-96 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. And I said the Hawks were going to win this series in 6, but they ended up winning in 7. I will take that. I still said the Hawks were going to win the series. So the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young had 21 points, 10 assists, and 3 rebounds. He had a horrendous shooting day yesterday. He still scored 21 points, but that shooting numbers are definitely not going to get it done against the Milwaukee Bucks in the next round. Kevin Huerter, man, this guy looked like Larry Bird out there, bro. He had 27 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds. The guy was playing like on another level, and maybe this is what everyone thought he was going to be when he came out into the NBA at some point. John Collins had 14 points, 16 rebounds. Clint Capella, 13 points, 6 rebounds, catching hella lobs from Trae Young. Danilo Gallinari played phenomenally yesterday off the bench, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Bogdan Bogdanovic did not have a great game, which is why Kevin Huerter played most of the game yesterday. But I expect to see those numbers pick up as the Eastern Conference Finals takes on shape. And now we can get to the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't know what the hell to say about this team. I'm sure you got a lot to say about them. Tobias Harris had 24 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists. Joel Embiid had 31 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. 5 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds. The guy's making over $30 million a year and only scores 5 points. And this is pretty much the norm for him in this series, because he did not score over 10 points, I don't think, once in this series. Seth Curry had 16 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. So, Sebastian, was this more about the Hawks and their ability to score the basketball, or was this more about the 76ers and their star players' inability to get things done in another Eastern Conference playoffs?
I'll answer that question shortly. But first of all, congratulations to the Atlanta Hawks. Congratulations to Atlanta fans. Like I mentioned, I don't even remember what episode it was, but I said I stand with y'all. I said the Atlanta Hawks are going to be, a very happy fan base. All their fans are going to be extremely excited and very happy. Blake said, I hope you don't jinx it now. But just because I didn't call, Hawks in 7, I called it in 6. They still won tonight, pulled through, even with a horrible shooting performance, like you said, from Trae Young. But down the stretch, he did pull through, and he did hit crucial shots and big shots for that team to stay composed and turn it around and win that game. So credit to Trae Young for having a horrible night, but coming in the clutch, hitting big shots and big buckets for this team to move forward and hopefully have a better shooting performance in the next series. Because like you said, If he continues to shoot poorly, then that Bucks probably will win in 4. Now, shout out to Mr. Kevin Huerter for hooping the way he had. Obviously, the shout out to the supporting cast as well for stepping up while Trey struggled. But Kevin Huerter, bro, I think we're seeing exactly why Dwayne Wade gave him that jersey and jersey swapped during his little last year of his, last year of his career. He chose Kevin Huerter for the simple fact that Kevin Huerter chose number 3 because he idolized D Wade. And so I think we're seeing now exactly what Kevin Huerter is supposed to be doing in big games down the stretch. The man balled out, like you said. The man performed on a stellar freaking night. You know what I'm saying? What did he go for? Let me pull this up. 10 for 18, 27 points. The man was shooting lights out. Having a phenomenal game. So I credit him a lot. Obviously, I got love. If D Wade loves you, you got love and respect from me. But with the whole Bogdan situation, yes, he was having a poor shooting night, but it was due to the fact that he's still dealing with that injury. I'm not too sure exactly what it is, but last game he got injured, and that's why he didn't play as many minutes as he did. And so I believe from what I heard in the broadcast, it was some sort of injury that he's still dealing with and he's trying to, cope with. In my eyes, I don't think he should have even touched 21 minutes, but I respect him and Nate for even trying to power through it and push through it. But hey, I think he needs to just rest up now because they're going to absolutely need him in this Bucks series because we know what he can do. The man is dangerous. So is Kevin Huerter, but Bogdan is dangerous. And I think we can both agree upon that. Now, let me just say one thing before I go to the 76ers. Trae Young, I love you. I'm happy for you. Now let's get this squad to the finals, all right? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody like the Bucks. It's always Bucks K and will forever be Bucks K. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even though I mentioned it already, Atlanta fans, I'm happy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Y'all boys deserve it. And I'll stand right. I stand with y'all. Let's go Hawks. You know what I'm saying? Let's give a round of applause. A round of applause for the Atlanta Hawks and their fan base. They don't got to deal with people blowing leads. They don't got to deal with people freaking blowing all this bull crap. They finally on the other end of the stick, like I said, and they're winning again. We're seeing winning basketball in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And I think them boys can carry this momentum to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks. Let's smoke that Bucks pack, baby. And I got the Atlanta Hawks in 6 against the freaking Milwaukee Bucks. Now, going on to the 76ers. Let me just roll my sleeves up really quick because this is about to be spicy. Now, I don't know where to start. I guess we could start with Joel. All right. Joel had he had a good game, and that fourth quarter was good up until the last minute. So let me break down this fourth quarter for you because I have it written down. So he goes into that game. First of all, I don't think he plays the first 3 minutes into it like Paul George. All right. Or actually, scratch that. He does play the first 3 minutes. Into the fourth, he is 3 for 4, 1 for 1 from 3. Then at 8 minutes and 39 seconds, he tramples John Collins and gets a turnover. That's it. That was his 7th turnover at the time. His 7th turnover with 8 minutes left in the fourth. That is his 7th turnover of the game. Keep that in mind. Then he doesn't touch the ball until 6 minutes and 15 seconds. So 2 minutes pass by of you not touching the rock to be aggressive and try and score after being 3 for 4 from the field. 2 minutes pass by. He shoots a 3, misses it. And then he doesn't take another shot or touch the ball for another 2 minutes where he makes a layup. So, okay. Then another 2 minutes passes by and he misses yet another shot. And that's at 2 minutes and 46 seconds. He misses another shot. And from this point on, he waits. Montana, just guess really quick. Unmute and guess how long does it take for Joel Embiid to touch the ball from 2 minutes and 46 seconds? Just how long do you think? Just off of a guess.
2 minutes.
Another 2 minutes, Montana. Another 2 minutes. This man doesn't touch the ball, and all of a sudden, Doc Rivers takes Ben Simmons' garbage ass, which we'll talk about in a second, out of the game because this is crucial. They're down by 4, down by 4, so they rely on their big man, the only person that clearly can get buckets, because Tobias had a horrible night, which I'll get into. And he tries to post up Gallo with 44.6 seconds. Tries to post him up. Then what does Gallo do? Gets a little steal. And how many turnovers is that? 8 turnovers on Joel Embiid. 8 turnovers after Gallo pokes it out of his hands and gets an easy fast break dunk to then put the Hawks up 6 with 44.6 seconds left in the game. And then 30 seconds happen. 30 seconds left in the game. And what does Joel Embiid do? Miss another 3. Misses another 3. And then he finally, que milagro, gets a freaking bucket with 17.5 when it was already too late in the game for them to try and win. Joel Embiid finished the game in the fourth quarter 5 for 9 with 11 points. You would think, damn, that's a great first quarter. That's a great quarter by Joel Embiid. No, it's not, because this man did not show up in the last minute when they needed him the most. Because clearly Ben Simmons is ass, and I will get into that in a second. Tobias couldn't really do anything. So your GOAT, your superstar, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, mind you, dealing with still a torn meniscus, does absolutely nothing in the last minute in order to move on and beat this Hawks team. So, with that being said, I love Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? I know I've roasted him and I've yelled at him way too many times, in this show. But I still got love for this kid. Joel, you said it last night. You don't know exactly what, where we should have done or what went wrong. You basically threw a little side diss at Ben Simmons, which again, I will get to in a little bit. So let's leave Philly. You know what I'm saying?
I got that quote lined up.
Oh yeah, please let me hear that quote. I forgot exactly what he said.
You want me to do it now or?
Yeah. Let me hear that quote.
All right. Give me 1 second. We got this here. I got this here. I got this here. Let's see. Sure. All righty. So here's what Embiid said about Ben Simmons after the game. I'll be honest. I thought the turning point was when I don't know how to say it, is when we had an open shot and we made 1 free throw. Embiid said, "Damn, listen. That's all you need to hear about your star player dissing your other star player."
Literally, listen. And then on top of that, Doc has no decency. Look, Kenny said it the greatest in the perfect way last night. If you want to, somehow just you can't just not commit to your star point guard. Yes, Ben Simmons is an all-star. He averages 18 to 15 in the regular season, whatever the case may be, and does not show up in the playoffs. So we've seen that time and time again. But at the end of the day, you need to commit to your point guard in Ben Simmons, or say no, he can't be. Doc says, "Oh, I don't know if I can answer that question," after being asked about if Ben Simmons can be the point guard on the championship team. What he should have said about that is either yes, we just need to work on some things, or no, and then boom. After that point, Ben knows, yeah, I'm gone. So Doc should have made an assessment. I guess he doesn't even know, because hell, he's a horrible ass coach, so he might get fired. Shout out Josh Smith. We saw Josh Smith. I don't know if you did, Montana, but last night we saw Josh Smith go on a rant on Instagram last night. Absolutely one of the funniest. We cannot pull that up on the show. The man said too many N-words, but that man had me dying of laughter. I've never laughed harder in my life after roasting somebody. So we can show you after the show, but man, Josh Smith went in on Doc Rivers. Now continue to go back to the conversation. Not Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, just come home, bro. Demand a trade. We'll figure out what we need to trade for. You know what I'm saying? We'll give up what we need to and just come home, bro. Come to a winning team. You know what I'm saying? We love you down here. I think you love us down here. So, you get it popping, bro. I know you said in your tweet that you gave everything you could, even with a torn meniscus, and you're absolutely right. You did, to a certain extent. But I think you need to get out of Philly, come join the best team in the Miami Heat, and we'll start winning ball games like you need. You know what I'm saying? Like you need from teams. Unlike your next teammate, which I'll get into, Mr. Tobias Harris. I don't understand how you have. And by the way, I broke down the fourth quarter for every player minus Ben Simmons. because I don't think he did anything in the fourth quarter. Now, Tobias, horrible shooting night. 8 for 24. I think we can both agree, horrible shooting night. I just don't understand how the man gets paid that much money and sells, folds, and plays horrible in a game 7, especially being the number 1 team in the East. In the fourth quarter, Montana, I don't know if you have this pulled up. He went 3 for 9 with 7 points in the fourth quarter. 7 points. I don't know what else to say. Like, that's 18 points total from your 2 stars out of the 25 that they had in that fourth quarter. So it's like, are we going to blame Tobias entirely? He could have shot the ball a bit better, to be fair, but he still scored 7 points. It's just very hard. He didn't shoot the ball. He just had a bad game. I don't want to get too much. I don't want to hate on Tobias because, Tobias is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to hate on him too much. He just had a bad night. It is what it is. You live with it and you move on. So I hope Tobias can just, don't get too down on yourself. Just come out next season, come out better, especially when he comes down to the postseason. So I'm going to move on from Tobias, I don't want to roast him too much because I really don't give a damn about Tobias too much. I did my talking about Joel. Like I've said time and time again on many clips from this show, Mr. Ben Simmons, and I'm not going to yell my voice or raise my voice too much during this little segment. Mr. Ben Simmons, I don't understand how you get paid that type of a contract and you shoot 2 for 4 and 1 for 2 from the free throw line with scoring a whopping 5 points. 5 points! You scored 5 points! 5 points! Getting paid all that money in game 7. And not only that, Mr. Ben Simmons has an opportunity to tie the game 88-86. He does a beautiful post spin on Danilo Gallinari and has a wide open dunk over Trae Young. And he opts to pass it to the 2-year player in Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle. Now, I'm not going to discredit Thybulle. I like Matisse Thybulle. But there's no chance in hell this man, Ben Simmons, gives up when he is 6'11", a wide open dunk on a 6'1" Trae Young. You're that scared to score? Are you kidding me? You're that scared? No shot in hell a point guard like Ben Simmons. Actually, scratch a point guard. No shot a player like Ben Simmons has that build and is scared to score on a 6'1" point guard. John Collins wasn't there. Danilo Gallinari, you beat him on a post spin. There's no excuse. No excuse from Ben Simmons. All he can say, listen, I've said this time and time again. He is a liability on offense. He can't shoot the damn ball. And clearly we've seen it after he said it. He's scared. He's scared to shoot because it's in his head, like I mentioned, and you can clearly see it. So I don't know exactly what we need to do or what the Philadelphia 76ers need to do with this kid. I think Kenny or Chuck said it best last night. They said they either need to, I think Chuck actually said it. They need to actually debate whether he's going to be a point guard, because if he is, then he needs to score the ball and shoot at will. And I don't know if you've seen it, Montana. There's clips going around that are surfacing now of what he played like in the summer league. The man was able to shoot like there's no other. I was like, damn, hold on. When did this happen? In the summer league, Ben Simmons was pulling with a pretty jumper from the midi, not missing at all. I can pull this up later or whenever you want. I can pull it up and show you. This man was hooping. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it really got to his head. I don't know, whatever. I'm just speechless to see that viral video trending now, and to see him in the past God knows how many years just be a liability offensively to this team with his free throws. Did you know, Montana? Did you know this man, Ben Simmons, missed 98 free throws.
That's insane. 98 free
8
throws?
free
Holy
throws,
crap.
more than the Bucks combined with 54. The Nets combined with, I think, like 50 something. I don't remember that exact stat. I just saw it last night, and I just remembered it right now. Ben Simmons alone, 98 free throws. Absolutely ridiculous from a quote-unquote star player. All I'm gonna say to end this little segment from my perspective, because my throat is hurting like crazy. Ben Simmons is ass. This man literally sucks unless he figures out a way to shoot the damn ball and stop being scared and nervous and get it out of his quote unquote head. Like, I'm in my head, bro. I'm just so scared. Unless he figures out a way to get over that little hump that he's dealing with. Send him and Kyle Kuzma packing to China, bro. Both of them trash asses need to go to China, play with freaking Jeremy Lin or play with Jimmy Fredette, but pack them up and send them out the league. They don't deserve to be here. We've seen it in this league, in this season. I don't care what anybody has to say. Kyle Kuzma, absolutely ass. Why am I bringing him up? Because you want to know why? They're freaking Eskimo brothers. And if you don't know what that means, they dated Kendall Jenner. They both did. So they dealt with the Jenner freaking curse, bro. They dealt with the Kardashian curse. Kyle Kuzma, bum ass, dealt with it. Mr. Ben Simmons dealt with it. The only person to overcome it and not use it as an excuse is Devin Booker. Devin Booker is dating Kendall Jenner right now, and he is hooping. So I think we need to pack up Ben Simmons until he figures out what the hell he wants to do in this league, and pack up Kyle Kuzma because they're both trash and they both got to go. So go to China and go play with whoever the hell you want to, but you cannot play in the NBA playing like that caliber. This is not acceptable in the NBA whatsoever. I don't give a damn. Go to China. Good night. Take it from here, Montana.
All right. Are you okay over there? Your blood pressure is too high, man. You got to relax a little bit. All right. I agree with you about the Kardashian curse, though. I can't believe it hasn't happened yet to Devin Booker, but I mean, who knows? Maybe it will
Hey, man, watch your mouth.
As that series goes on. That
Watch your
curse
mouth.
hasn't hit him yet. Maybe it will. All right. But as far as that goes, this game has nothing to do about the Hawks. This game is all theirs. The credit goes to them. Yep. They were the better team yesterday. They played they wanted to win that game and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And now all the comparisons about how Trae Young has gone to this far over Luka Doncic, making him the better player out of the two, it's kind of ridiculous to me. I don't know where that conversation started. Trae Young plays in the Eastern Conference, Luka Doncic plays in the Western Conference, so that is a completely different argument. We could probably save for a different day. But besides this game was all about the Sixers.
Can I interrupt you?
What happened?
I found the stat. I just found it on Twitter randomly. The 76ers. So, correction. Ben Simmons did not miss 98 free throws. I apologize. The 76ers as a team missed 98 free throws. The Milwaukee Bucks missed 53. The Denver Nuggets missed 50. The Jazz missed 48. The Clippers missed 46. And guess what? Ben Simmons missed 45. So he was one off from the Clippers, 2 from the Jazz, 3 from the Jazz, 5 from the Nuggets, and like 8 from the Bucks. As a team. Ben Simmons alone, 45 missed free throws. More than the Atlanta Hawks, which have 35 missed free throws. More than the Phoenix Suns, which have 29 as a team. And more than the Brooklyn Nets that had 22 as a team. So continue, but that's absolutely insane. 45 missed free throws.
So as far as Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris goes, I think you can't ask for them to do anything more than what they did yesterday. They gave the scoring performances that they had to give in order to win. They had 31 points. Joel Embiid had 31 points. Yes, could he have scored more than that? Yes, he probably could have. But he's playing with so much pain right now that I can't even really discredit him. At this point, he's a solid center. Problem is with him, he just gets injured all the time, and that's something that I don't know if he's ever going to fix throughout the rest of his career. That's just probably who he's going to be. I mean, he's going to be the guy that gets injured every year at some point during the season, and there's nothing we can do about it. Tobias Harris, the guy is playing he's not playing like a supermax player, but he's playing like a good player all-star level caliber player. He had 24 points. Yes, he shot the ball terribly yesterday, but he still scored 24 points. That's something that if he didn't do, the Sixers would have lost by even more. So there's that. Seth Curry, I don't know why Dallas ever traded him in the first place. The guy can shoot. I think he needs to get more opportunities to shoot the basketball, and that's something that maybe the Philadelphia 76ers are going to have to look at for next season, whether or not he can shoot the basketball more, because I think he definitely can. But this 76ers game, all comes down to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, I don't know why. This guy is a number one pick. I don't know where the shooting, this guy should be such a dominant basketball player in the NBA. That's not even funny. The guy's a 6'11" point guard. He takes advantage of other point guards on defense, and offensively is where his game suffers. I just don't know why he can't shoot the basketball. He should be able to shoot 3-pointers. He should be able to shoot mid-ranges. He should be able to do everything. The NBA defenders are giving him so much space that he should be able to shoot the basketball. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to shoot the basketball. He's a professional basketball player in the NBA. He plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. He's not playing college ball anymore. The guy should be able to shoot the basketball. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to shoot it. And he just doesn't want to do it for some reason. He has all the he needs to, in the offseason, he needs to work on his confidence level. He needs to be able to say screw it and take the shot. If it doesn't go in, it doesn't go in, but at least you shot the shot and you didn't wonder if you didn't shoot it, what would have happened. If you did shoot it and made it, what would have happened. You just don't know. Like, he needs to work on his confidence. He needs to go in the offseason, start working on these pick up basketball games, start working on his shot. Maybe he should play in the Olympics. Try to test it out there. Play for the Australian basketball team and test it out in the Olympics, because that's something that that it could help him develop his game a little bit more as a shooter, and he needs to figure that out. I don't know if you could blame the 76ers coaching or Brett Brown, his former NBA coach, for putting that installation in him that he doesn't want it to shoot the basketball, that his role as a player is to distribute the basketball player, because that's not what his role is. His role is to be the number 2 player on the 76ers and shoot the basketball, not just to pass or play defense, because any player can do that in the NBA. That doesn't make you doesn't make you special. The guy gets paid $35 million a year. He needs to be special. He needs to be like the number 1 pick that he was drafted out to be. The 76ers could have had Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, any of those players. Yet they had Ben Simmons. So there's that. So besides that,
go ahead.
What happened?
No, go ahead. I want to pull something up when you finish.
But besides that, I think the 76ers need to look into trading Ben Simmons in the offseason for a point guard that can actually shoot the basketball player. Either that or you move in the power forward. There's nothing else you can do about that, because maybe if you move in the power forward, you force him to shoot. You force him to do other things besides being a passer. Because as good as a passer he is, he's definitely not playing at a high level enough to be a point guard that can shoot. Maybe they can look to find a point guard who can shoot, maybe an all-star, because it's going to be hard to move that contract. But if you can find someone that's willing to trade one of their own all-star players for another all-star player, something similar to how the Raptors traded DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard, maybe if you can somehow package Ben Simmons and another player or someone like Damian Lillard, that makes the 76ers an instant contender. Damian Lillard would be him and Joel Embiid would be one dangerous dynamic duo in the East.
Mm-hmm.
So besides that, this is all on Ben Simmons.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So let me just share my screen really quick. I'm not going to play any audio because I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to get copyrighted or anything. But look, as you can see, a rookie Ben Simmons was pulling and hitting jumpers with confidence. Now, I saw this little capture or this comment, and I was like, hold on now. Is it the trainers in Philly don't know if it was all injury, but Markelle Fultz looked like he was lost his confidence in his shot while he was with the Sixers, like he had lost the confidence in his shot with the Sixers. Totally different, but now he's in Orlando, and he's balling. You know what I'm saying? But let's take a look at this really quick. No audio again. This is Ben Simmons in the Summer League. Look at this. Look at his ability to shoot the ball at will. The jump shot is beautiful. It's crisp. Look at that. It's crisp. Where is that? Where has that gone? Is that all on the media? Is that all on everybody just roasting him because his form is ugly or whatever the case may be? Or is that Philly's training staff? Like, where did this go? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand exactly where any of that went. It just doesn't make sense how Ben Simmons had that at one point in, before his career. Clearly, because this is summer league, so it doesn't even count as games. Before his career, he had a jumper on him, and now he doesn't. It's all gone, disappeared. No one knows where the hell it went.
There's a reason why.
Go ahead.
There's a reason why he's the number one pick for a reason. He had the potential to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time. His size and his strength, the way he moves in college, it was something that all NBA teams wanted. The 76ers were lucky to get him. He has to fix that. He has to fix that shooting. He has to fix it. There was no excuse for it
at all.
In order to be an elite basketball player, he has to fix it.
Yeah. No, it's just crazy. It's a matter of what is the issue? Like you said, is it confidence? Is it in his head legitimately? Is that something they need to sit there and just, I don't know. I don't know what they need to figure this out, because if not, then he cannot play point guard, and he needs to, like you said, move to power forward. And then if that's the case, he needs to get traded, because Tobias Harris is there. Unless you put Tobias at the 3, Ben at the 4, and Joel at the 5, then you need a better point guard. And that comes either in the draft, which I don't think they'll be able to get, or they're going to have to move somebody. And I don't know. It's going to be a very weird situation moving forward for the 76ers.
Yeah, they should have traded. I mean, the Sixers should have traded him for James Harden.
Yeah,
that's clearly, exactly who they should trade. They should have traded for him.
Yep.
All right, I think that's going to be it for today's show, guys.
Yes, sir.
If you have, I never got to remind you guys, but I'll remind you guys now. If you haven't followed the Apple Podcast or the Spotify yet, follow it. Leave a rating and review if you guys are watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like. Leave a comment on the video, as it helps the YouTube algorithm. Helps other people find us and the show. So, besides that, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, at Wildcard Movies. Sebastian, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at RabbitFL everywhere.
All right. We'll keep you guys posted, but tomorrow's show may be in limbo, so we'll let you guys know by tonight, tomorrow morning, whether or not there will be a show. But besides that, this is Montana signing off, and we'll see you guys maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. You guys will never know. Peace.